Welcome to the show. In this morning show, we are here to inspire you about building your own business and helping you stay on track of your goals. It's a daily cup of motivation. A supportive group of women who wants to see you succeed in your business, and we'll support you every step of the way. Right in the morning. Just put your mind to it. Coffee with Nikkie. Wake up everybody in the morning. Wake up everybody. It's coffee with Nikkie, and we have to get our drink on. So educate your mind, right? Educate your mind, right? Educate your mind, right? Hey, we riding, yo. Wake up in the morning, 5 a.m. in the morning. I'm yawning, brainstorming when my mind is forming. Time to tune to this morning show early in the morning. Listen to Coffee with Nikkie. Oh yes, she's busy. If you need help, tune on the channel right with me. Strong, independent women, make it sound easy. Take it Wake up everybody in the morning. Wake up everybody. It's coffee with Nikkie, and we have to get our drink on. So educate your mind, right? Educate your mind, right? Educate your mind, right? Hey, we riding, yo.
Live and welcome to Coffee with Nikkie, your daily cup of information and inspiration. You already know what to do. Soon as you walk in, hit the thumbs up button and don't forget to click subscribe. Now grab your pen, your pad, and your coffee because it's time to get it. Let's get it. Let's go. Good morning, everybody. How are you guys doing on this amazing morning? Okay, so it is getting a little bit warm today. I was rushing around, but I have my spot back. So I will be going back into my studio because my son then went back to college. So I will be going back to my official studio. And yes, that's what's going on. So how's everybody doing out there? I am Miss Nikkie. I am the Dean of Bubble Babes University. And you are joining us for Coffee with Nikkie, your daily cup of information and inspiration. So let me see who I have in the building this morning. So I see Miss Lois is in the building. Good morning, Miss Lois. She says, I am blessed. Yolanda says, hey, Miss Lois. Good morning, Jasmine. Good morning. She says, happy Tuesday. We are so blessed. Amen. Good morning, Naomi. Naomi, you already know. She says she's awake, alive, and blessed. Happy Tuesday. Good morning, Yolanda. She said, good morning, tribe. Good morning, Miss Betty Rose. She says she is truly blessed. Happy August. Today is August. Okay? Jasmine, Yolanda says to Jasmine, yes, we are, Miss Jasmine. Crystal says, good morning, everyone. I am blessed. Good morning, Big Meech. Good morning. And good morning, Jordan. I hope you are doing well this morning. Is it time for you? No. You're in Pennsylvania, so you're not going back to school yet. So, you still got some of vacation left. A lot of people out in the southern states, they're going to school this week and next week, right? So we still have, I think, to the end of August, the beginning of September for school to start back. I know my nephew and my son, they start college at the end of the month, but my son is back at school because he plays football. So he's already back at school. So yes, so that's what we have going on. Good morning, Callie, Miss NYC. What's going on, sis? How are you doing this morning? Hey, Miss Quell. Hey, Miss Quell, how are you doing this amazing morning? Okay, so the word that was given to me from Cousin, and you guys already know her. Y'all know Cousin as the best moderator on what? Earth, right? The best moderator on earth. She had gave me my word she gave it to me last week, and she was like, the word is reset. I don't know why it keeps coming to me. And it was something that was in me as well. I feel like I had to, like, you always feel like you're on the go, and you just have to, sometimes you have to stop, because if you don't stop to take a look at what's going on and reassess what's going on, you kind of start feeling like you're lost. You start feeling like you lose your purpose. You start feeling like you don't know what to do anymore. Just everything that you've ever learned went out the door because you just don't know what's going on right now. And this season is a weird season for you, and that's what I was starting to feel. I was starting to feel like it was time for me to reset and just get refocused and re-strategize and do all of the things. And so when she told me that reset was the word, I was like, absolutely. Why? Because that's exactly what I'm feeling like I need to do. In order for me to focus on the last quarter of the month and for me to just get back on track with the things that I set out to do, I am going to have to reset. And I'm going to have to see what works and do more of that, and see what doesn't work and do less of that, or don't do it at all, right? And it's like, I think I'm feeling that. I think everybody else might be feeling that. And so, since that is the case, that is the word. So, the word is reset. And then, when I started planning it out, right? When I started planning it out, everything became I was like, what? So, it all just started to flood to me, right? Like the ideas of resetting, refocus, re-strategize, realign, you know what I'm saying? Like reconnect. All of the words that started with started coming to me, and I'm like, you know what? I think as entrepreneurs, we all need this, right? And yes, I can come to you like everything is all put together, but you got to know that there's going to be times when they're not put together, and there's going to be times when you are going to fall apart. But you need to know that you can pick up the pieces. You need to know that you don't need to go and hide in a corner because you're starting to feel like you're not understanding what's going on. Things that worked for you previously are no longer working for you now. The way you used to sell previously is no longer working for you now. The customers that you used to have are no longer, you know what I'm saying? Like, you have to feel, I didn't want anybody to feel like they are alone in this thing, right? And so I feel that God is using me in that manner because I could present to you a whole polished package, right? I could never say that I have any struggles. I could say that everything is perfect. I could always, everything always happens the right way. All of my launches are always successful. All of it, I could present it to you that way, but then that would not be the truth. And as entrepreneurs, for you, then when you start to come up, when something like that comes upon you, then you're like, well, something's got to be wrong with me because I see this person do it and it looks like it's always together and everything's always successful and things always happening just for this particular person. But when it comes to me, it doesn't feel like that. It doesn't look like that. And so something's got to be wrong with me. Something's got to be wrong with the way I am approaching my business. And I just want to let you guys know that it's not you. It happens to all of us. It is not just one thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not just for budding entrepreneurs, aspiring entrepreneurs. It's not just for those people that are struggling because they don't know where their audience is. It's everything is consistently changing for everybody. It's always moving pieces. It's always moving parts. As soon as you think you master one thing, something else is going to switch up on you. Like the game is ever changing, right? And so I didn't want to present a polished picture like that. And so that's where I feel that God is using me, because sometimes I'm like, okay, well, I can't get in front of people, being like this. And then I'm like, you know what? I have to present myself the way that I am because I need to let people know that it is okay to be there. And you don't get to 13 years of business by everything being 100%, in alignment with everything that you're doing. You don't get to 13 years of business with everything going right with no problems. That doesn't happen, right? You have this as entrepreneurs. We have good and bad seasons, hot and cold seasons. We have slow and fast seasons. Like, we have times where where we have to adjust, right? And so since we have to adjust, we have to figure those things out. And what makes it feel better, you have a little more comfort, is the fact that everybody goes through this and you're not alone. A lot of the times we don't have entrepreneur friends or things like that we could look at and say, okay, well, let me get your advice or whatever, right? A lot of the times we're living vicariously through somebody else's success story, or things that they allow you to see, because we don't see all of the parts of business, right? We don't get to see every single thing. And so since we don't get to see that, then it comes a time when you're like, well, is it supposed to be like this? Because maybe I'm doing something wrong. Well, maybe that's not right. And so I feel that this is why God is using me in this way. And so this week we are focusing on resetting. We are focusing on every reword. I think I'm going to do one reword every day, or maybe a few, depending on how much information I put into each word. And it may even go into next week, right? But I think we all need a factory reset. How many of you guys in here need a reset? I know I asked you yesterday, but how many of you guys need a factory reset? Now, let me tell you something about yesterday and my power outages, right? So it come to find out that these power outages were scheduled, but we didn't know that our neighborhood was going to be part of that scheduled. There's they were updating the grid or whatever they were updating, and so we were going to have a scheduled power outage, and I did not know, and I just kept on moving as if life was peachy and everything was going to be grand and fine, and it wasn't. But we are here. Today's no scheduled power outages. So we are here today. So let me know in the chat if you need a reset. Put your hands up. Put your hands up. Let me see. Let me see. The earth. The earth. Come on. Come on. All right. Miss Quell said, good morning. Good morning, y'all. Happy August. Yes, put your hands up if you feel like you need a reset. A lot of us are restructuring our business right now. A lot of us are refocusing, figuring out what our purpose is. A lot of us is trying to figure out our brand identity. What do we want our brand, what we want that to look like, what we want it to feel like, what we want the message to be. A lot of us is, it's a time right now. And if I was into the stars and things like that, I would probably find this is a transitional time for a lot of people, an awakening for a lot of people. And I'm not into the stars, but I'm pretty sure it's got to be something going on, because as a unit, we are all feeling the same thing collectively. We are all feeling that there's some movement, there's some changes, and there's some things that we need to replace, and some old energies that has to go. Like, we're feeling that right now more than ever. So I know I am. Let me know if you guys are feeling the same way too. And let me know. Let me know. Take the batteries out and put fresh ones in. That's right. That's right. That's right. All right, y'all. So with this reset, flip the switch or something, or something, for sure, for sure. um with this reset, I want everybody to, like, the first thing, remember we were talking about it yesterday, the first thing I think that we all need to do is to purge. I know for myself it's something that's definitely necessary for me. So I have to purge. I have to make room for my blessings. I have to make space for my blessings. Remember, I was telling you I came from a storefront back to home, and now so the space in the workspace and everything that I had when I was in a shop, it is not the same as home. And remember that home is also doubling as my living space. So I have to be cautious on how, things are moving and shaking around in the house as far as the business is concerned. And so sometimes it is not allowing for such abundance, is not allowing for growth. And so we need to be able to make room for that, and we need to figure out how we can make this space work, right? And so a lot of that is going to come with organization. A lot of that's going to come with getting rid of things that we no longer need. I'm pretty sure as makers in this room, everybody in here is a maker. You have stuff that's expired on your shelf. You have stuff that you have not even used. That's been there since 1992 that you're not even going to use. You have things that jars and wicks and all kinds of things that you are not going to be using. You already know you're not using them no time soon. So what are you holding on to them for? I know you might have an epiphany and you might say you want to use it, right? But what are you holding on to it for? Right? So you might as well go on ahead, purge these things, get rid of them, sell it to somebody else who can actually use it, because it's something that goes along with their branding, or something that they need to create products, or something that they want to do for a holiday collection. We need to go ahead and let those things go. And it is a time of letting things go. Things that no longer serves us. It is time for us to set people free. It is time to detach ourselves from emotional poisons. It is time for us to detach ourselves from clutter. I am so clingy and attached to clutter. It is not even funny. It is not even funny. I'll tell you in a minute. I told y'all yesterday, I operate in organized chaos. I operate slower and organized chaos. I can operate, but that doesn't mean that I'm functioning properly. That doesn't mean that I'm operating at 100%. It just means that I am coping. It just means that I am able to deal with it. It just means that I am able to, work around the mess. And we need to not work around the mess. And I don't know who that message is for, because it's definitely something that just came to me out of nowhere. But we cannot operate in this kind of work environment where we're not able to do what we can do 100%, because we can't say we've exhausted our possibilities if we're not even working to our capabilities, right? So we need to make sure that we are doing what we need to do in order to give our space room give ourselves room for these blessings that we are about to receive. Is everybody with me in the room? Put yes in the chat. Put yes, yes, and yes in the chat if you are with me. Let me see. Let me see. So Miss Quell says she definitely need a reset. Crystal said she put her hands up. She need a reset. Cali meets New York City. She needs a reset. Naomi needs a reset. Everybody needs a reset in here. Definitely need a reset and going back to the drawing board. Yes, yes, and yes. Flip the switch or something. Yes, talk about it. Come on, Jasmine. I need to take lots of stuff to the dumpster. Let it go. Let it go. I was holding on. I realized I was holding on to a lot of stuff when I first, because I still got a lot to purge, right? But when I first purged, I was holding on to things like there were papers and all kinds of stuff that I didn't need. I have ingredients on my shelf that's been there for years that I can't use because I'm pretty sure they're good and expired, and they're still just sitting there. They're taking up space. Why are they sitting there? Why are they taking up space? This could be space for something else that I need, or this can be clear space so I don't have to fill up every little corner of my shelving, or you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't need to fill it up with clutter. I don't need to fill it up with things. Sometimes we need to see space so that we know that we have room for things to come into that space, right? We have room for those things. We can't make room if it's so much stuff up there, right? It's too cluttered and now we can't see. And so that ingredient or those things are going to be sitting on the shelf until you just happen to clean or happen to come across it again and you're like, oh, I forgot I had blah 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 blah. I have all kinds of stuff on my shelf, things that I said I was going to use and make, and I never ever 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 ever. Like, I have some great ingredients that I spent good pennies on, right? Good pennies on, and they're just sitting there. Now they're expired, and now I don't even know if I want to even use them. Well, not if I don't know if I want to use them. I'm not going to use them. Some things didn't have dates on them, but I'm not going to use them because they've been there for a long time, right? And so I don't want to put somebody else at risk because I had something sitting here and I want to use it because I don't want to lose money. You know what I'm saying? So we've got to take some time and just get this purge thing going. Do not have any attachments to any of it. Just let it go. Let it go. Let me see what you guys are saying in the chat. So Naomi says, me too. Me too. Spinning the wheel. Spinning wheel, and not going anywhere but digging a big hole. And that's what happens. That, they tell us, if you should happen to fall into a ditch, don't dig yourself out, right? They tell you to stay still, right? Think about it. See how you're gonna get up out of there. Don't keep digging. You're gonna dig yourself even deeper into the ditch. So we have to really stop for a second, get some clarity, start moving things out of our lives, and start making room for abundance, right? It's time for that reset. It is time, like Jasmine said, it is time to flip the switch. Time to flip the switch. Let me see what you guys are saying in the chat. My brain is dysfunctional and organized chaos, okay? I used to say the same, but I can't do it no more. I've been stuck too long. Exactly. Exactly. Like, you're coping, you're surviving in it, but you're not thriving there. You know what I'm saying? And I speak from experience. I'm not speaking from looking at somebody else's clutter. I am talking about my own clutter. I am talking about my own, my own mess, my own, the way I'm working out of confusion. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, you spend twice as much time working out of confusion when you could just clear the space and just work solidly all the way through, right? Right? Let me see. Help the people. Come on, cousin. Yes, yes, and yes. Yes, yes, and yes, yes. Why is it so hard to let things go? Because we have emotional attachments to these things. We have emotional attachments to them. Even though it's something that we may never even need, we just gonna hold on to it for a little longer just in case we do need it. Somebody gave us something we don't want to. Now, one thing that I'm not gonna get rid of, if somebody wrote me a note, if you gave me a present or something and you wrote me a note, I do keep my notes. Why I keep my notes? Because it's a reminder of me being special to somebody else. So those things, they are they feel good to me. And so I like to keep things that's going to feel good to me. Not, some things just hold no, hold nothing, or they hold bad emotions or whatever, things that you don't want to hold on to. Those things you get rid of. But things that make you feel good, that feed your soul, that build your spirit, those are the kind of things that you want to keep, and keep those things in a special place, because those are from special people that make you feel a certain type of way. And so I do keep my notes. I do. Let me see. Think it's because I didn't have much growing up. I don't know. I am getting better of letting things go. And even if you have to if you have to let stuff go to people who you know is going to have a better home to, maybe that'll make you feel a little bit better, right? Because you know that somebody else is going to use it and they're going to get great use out of it. And since they're going to get great use out of it, you could feel better about it, instead of saying you just threw that thing in the garbage, right? So you could feel like, okay, I know that this person is definitely going to be able to create a whole bunch of stuff, or she's going to need this because this person needed this thing for so long, right? That'll probably make you feel better because you're giving it to somebody it could benefit. Yes? All right, let me see. Because as soon as you let it go, you will need it. And that's because that's us. That's trying to make ourselves, that's a trigger. Let that thing go. Let it go. It's a trigger. It's a trigger for you to hold on to it. Let it go. Don't even say that. If you need it again, then you'll figure it out, or you'll figure out a way how to work without it. But you've had it for this long, and if you didn't find a need for it in years or 6 months, like they tell you with your clothes, if you didn't find a need for it, then it is time to just let it go. Because at this point, what we doing, sis? At this point, what are we doing? Yes, you do keep notes. I do. I certainly do. I certainly do, because these things mean something to me. A lot of the times we'll get into these moments, we'll get into these dark spaces when we feel like we don't have people, or you know what I'm saying? Like, we just get into those moments. Sometimes we don't feel appreciated. Sometimes we get those moments, and it's not for some, it's for all. We all get it. I don't care where you at. I don't care how rich you are. I don't care what you know what I'm saying? I don't care how happy you get. There are going to be points. We're going to have peaks and we're going to have valleys. We're going to have these things. These are things that we deal with in life, right? And in those moments, I need to know that people are loving on me. I need to know that, yes, I do love myself, but people appreciate the person who I am. People that somebody sees me. Somebody knows that I am valuable. Somebody knows that I'm worth it, or something like that. It just means something more to me, and I always hold on to those type of things. Always. Um, but I do sometimes, I end up rebuying stuff. Yes. And then that's another thing why we need to get inventory. Did you guys check your emails? The last thing that I had sent an email was about getting ready for Q4, getting your inventory together. Remember, we got a coupon code with inventory, so you got the 20% if you use Bubble Babes 20. You have 20% off either the lifetime for the year, or you'll have it for the month, and you'll have it for a lifetime. For as long as you have that subscription, you'll have 20% off. But this way you can see what you need, what you don't need, what you need to reorder. You know what I'm saying? So you're not ordering things 3 and 4 5 times, because sometimes we order things a whole bunch of times and we don't even need that much. We just don't see it, and so we automatically just like, oh, I gotta buy this, oh, I need this, and we don't. So what are some things that you can do to reset? What are some things that you could do? Like, the first thing I think is, in order for anything to happen again, is to purge, to clean, to organize. That is the first thing, because as soon as I start feeling cluttered, I start feeling confusion, that's when I know it is time for me to have a deep clean. That's when I know that even though it'll get messed up, somewhere close along the line, it may not be clean for like a month, but it will be clean for a week. And it is easier for me to put little things away than to create a huge mess and then try to do it all over again. Because I definitely, for cleaning is not in my spirit. I do not enjoy it. I love making messes, but I do not love cleaning them. I will, because I have to, but it's not something that I enjoy. My mom, on the other hand, she will come and she will clear and clean every single thing. She's cleaning behind things, under things. Like, my mother is going off. And so whenever she comes in, I be like, oh, what you need me to do? I just let her go to work. I just let her go to. She's like, we need some. Okay, what you want me to do? Move whatever you want. Do you want me to bring you the broom? You need some garbage bags? What do you need? Because I'm going to bring it to you. Long as I don't have to do it. I'll be like, okay, mom, what you need? I will hand it to her quickly. Quick, fast, and in a hurry. All right, so what are some of the things that you need to do to reset? Or what do you normally do that helps you to reset? Okay, so we said me is cleaning. Is there anything else that you guys do that you can start doing today? Is there anything that you can start doing today? Because it's one thing to say that you need to reset. It's another thing to start taking action in order for you to reset. Because the thing that you don't want is from today, 2 months from now, you're in the same space. Right? That's not what we want. So what we want from this day, we want change. So 2 months should look the total opposite of what today looks like to you. Right? And so don't just talk about it, be about it. Right? Don't just say you're going to do something. Say it and mean it. Say it and do it. Say it and apply it. Say it and execute it quickly. Say it and do it right now. Because why? Because if you don't, it's going to be a continuous cycle that is going to continue to go on forever and ever and ever, and you're never going to get out of this loop, and you're never going to see change because change is not happening for you because you're not changing it. How many of y'all feeling me what I'm talking about right now? And I'm going to tell you, you know how I know? Because I do it. You know how I do? You know how I know? Because I will take a class and I will say I want to do something and I will do something and I don't apply it when I get that information. And then that time done pass, and then that time done pass, and then that time done pass, and I still have not done anything that I said I wanted to do from this class or whatever I did. Right? And so I know exactly. I know exactly. So, let me know if y'all know what I'm talking about and what are you going to do? What's the first thing that you are going to do in order to start to reset? Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat. Thank you so much, cousin. Y'all hit the thumbs up. What y'all waiting on? What y'all waiting on? Let's see. Let's see. What do you need to do? What do you need to do in order for you to reset? Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat. And I just gave an extra one because if you did not, I see my little hair sticking up. If you did not hit the thumbs up button yet, hit it, hit it, hit it, hit it, hit it, hit it, hit it. All right. So the words that I chose, and I said this is definitely everything that we need. Right. This is something that we all need. I needed it for me. I think you guys needed it for you. But these are the words, the rewords that I said we need to focus on. Yesterday I did a carousel with some rewords on it. Right. First one leading off the reset, right? But I did 5 and I have so much more that I want to focus on, right? So we got recharging. A lot of us are burnt out. A lot of us are like, we don't know what we need to do. A lot of us need to stop doing what we're doing and start focusing on more things that are going to produce revenue, things that are going to produce results, things that are going to help us, things that are going to move the needle forward. We need to start focusing on those things because we're focusing on things that are not moving the needle forward. We're focusing on things that are not helping the business to grow or helping advance us, right? And so we need to recharge so that we can every time you exhaust the energy, you got to replenish it, right? Like Jasmine was saying, your batteries run out. You have to replace those batteries, right? You have to recharge those batteries. When my battery dies in my camera and I'm on live, I have to reach and I have to get my battery so that I could put it in my camera, and I recharge my batteries until it is full. And you have to recharge your batteries. You cannot operate on low batteries or no batteries, and you know what I'm saying, because there's going to be a time when your energy is going to be exhausted. You're not going to be able to do anything because you don't have any gas in your tank in order for you to push. So you have to recharge. So recharge is one of them. Re-strategize. Some of us are doing things that are no longer working, right? Things are changing, times are changing. We have to be flexible. We have to start moving with the times. Things the way we used to sell may not be working right now. Things are changing, and so since things are changing, we got to change with those things. And when we change, we have to re-strategize, replenish. We have to replenish. A lot of the times we're exhausting our mental, we're exhausting like physically, we're not sleeping. We need to start putting some time back into us. We need to start meditating. We need to start seeing where we need to refill our cup, right? And refill should be here too. We need to refill our cup. So replenish is another one in the words. Restructure. We need to restructure. We need to reconnect. Sometimes we have not connected with our customer. I'm listening to .com Secrets right now at the request of Jasmine. Well, not the request of Jasmine, but Jasmine said that that was a really good book. And so I'm listening to .com Secrets right now and reconnecting with your customers and reconnecting to who your actual customer is, your dream customer is going to help you whenever you are speaking to them, right? Whenever you are offering something, whenever you are showing up, you know exactly who you're speaking to. A lot of the times, again, we get lost with just selling. We get lost with just trying to just get this thing off the shelf or just try, you know what I'm saying? We get lost in that. We need to reconnect with who our customers are. We need to reconnect with who we are. We need to reconnect with what the purpose is. We need to reconnect with what our business is about, right? We need to reconnect with who we are. We need to reconnect with the mission and the value, and we need to reconnect with who we are and why we're doing what we're doing. We need to find that connection, because if we don't, we're going to be burnt out, and we're going to be, we're not going to want to do anything. We're not going to want to be going to be bitter with the business. We're going to be bitter with entrepreneurship because we don't know exactly what we're doing. And not that, you're not, for lack of trying, sometimes you're just trying in the wrong area. And just because you're trying but it's in the wrong area, that, you know what I'm saying, like, it still is not going to help you. So you need to make sure that where you're putting that effort into, it is something that you are going to be able to build from, right? You could be moving real fast in the wrong direction, and it doesn't matter how fast you move, you're still moving in the wrong direction. You're still not going to get to your destination because you're not going in the direction that you need to, no matter how fast you're going, right? And so reconnection is very important. Some of us need to revamp. A lot of us are changing the way our labels look. A lot of us are changing the way, our content is looking across the board. So we need to revamp. We need to rethink. We need to refocus. We need to start seeing, what are we doing this for? What's this brand all about? Maybe I'm not connecting with my customers because they don't understand what my brand is about, and I need to rethink, and I need to refocus, and I need to see why it's not connecting to my ideal customers. Yes. Yes, yes, and yes. Redesign, reposition yourself. Some of you guys are not positioning yourselves as the experts that you are. You're not showing up as a person that has plenty of knowledge about this particular field that you're in. Start to reposition yourself. Let people know this is what you do. This is how you do it, and this is why you know how to do it. Right? Realign yourself. Realign yourself with your goals. Sometimes we are not in alignment anymore. Right? We have to figure it out. We have to see where we got off track, and we have to put it back together. Reevaluate, reintroduce yourself. Sometimes your customers don't know who you are, and you have to reintroduce yourself. Who are you? Maybe you haven't introduced yourself in months. It's time for you to reintroduce yourself, right? It's time for you to reintroduce your brand. It's time for you to reintroduce your products. It is time for you to reintroduce your mission. It is time for you to reintroduce yourself to the world. How you showing up to the world, right? It is time for that, and regeneration. So all of these things, I think, are something that is, as for entrepreneurs, these words are resonating so deep within me, because I know exactly what each and every one of these words feel like to me in my spirit. As far, like I said, being in business for 13 years, there's a lot of emotions that I felt. There's a lot of things that I felt. There's a lot of up and downs. There's a lot of times and trials and tribulations that I've been through within 13 years that I can say I touched on every single thing, right? I can say that. And I know a lot of people in the room are new to business, and you have not yet. And so once you feel this uneasy feeling, you start feeling like you're wrong. You start feeling like something is not right, like something is wrong with you. And this is, maybe it's not supposed to feel like that, and that could be because everybody is painting a pretty picture, and you don't see the ugly in everybody's business. And sometimes you'll see something, but you just see them on the other side of it. You don't see them going through it, and so you're feeling like, maybe I'm going through this too long. Maybe something is wrong with me. Maybe I just need to stop. Like, we need to start to focus on these things and start to know that we need to normalize it as being okay. because being an entrepreneur for real, it's not even funny. It's so hard. It's so hard to be an entrepreneur, and to be a full-time entrepreneur is extremely hard, right? Because you have people depending on you. You have people relying on you to do things and to be things, and to you have to be able to keep up with your bills. You have to be able to it's so many things that you got to keep up with, and you don't have that security and stability of a 9 to 5, right? And so that means that your hustle is going to be a whole lot different, and you don't want to hustle out of that desperation. I mean, you do want to keep that hunger, but you don't want to be operating out of desperation, like, I don't even know where my next dollar is going to come from. I don't even know what I'm going to be able to do, because this ain't happening, and you start selling everything off, or you try to have so many sales, and you try to do so many things like that, and there's no real strategy. You really have no, you just trying to make ends meet for the month, kind of thing, right? And so raise your hand if you know what I'm talking about. Put your hand up. Put your hand up. All right, so let me see. Michi says same, cleaning and decluttering. I have to make a list because my mind is all over the place. Got it. As I mentioned before, I got myself a new laptop and iPad as part of my reset. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Cali Meets New York City says just destashed some fragrance oils and vessels. I also went through my worst selling items, right, and put them on sale to prepare. Yes, to prepare them to be discontinued. Absolutely. Absolutely. Crystal says, purge and organize. I'm addicted to fragrance oils. I think we all are in this room. I'm addicted to fragrance oils, but they start to confuse me on which one to use. And then when you have so many of them, you don't really know what you want to use, right? Because you got just everything all over the place, and you just like, I don't know. Jazz said, yes, that book is so important. Yes, 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 and yes. I need to purge and reorganize. I'm refocusing my business. Absolutely, Miss Lois. Put the book in the chat, Jazz.com Secrets by Russell Brunson. Yes, let me put that on the screen. Yes, yes, and yes. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Good morning, Trina. Good morning, good morning, good morning. We are talking about resetting. We're basically piggybacking off of what we spoke about yesterday, and just about us just getting ourselves in order so that we can have finish up the year strong, and just so that we can just refocus and find our center, so that we can continue on with the rest of this year strong, focused, with our hitting our goals, with hitting our the targets, making sure that we don't have any moving targets, that we have clear, concise targets, so that we can hit them each and every single time, right? And so we were talking about the rewords, right? So another one, that the word that we spoke about in my carousel that I had yesterday, the first word was reflect. Reflect. So take a moment. Like, yes, we need to clear. Yes, we need to clean. Yes, we need to organize, right? But we also need to reflect. We need to look back and see what it is that, yes, fragrances do have a lifespan. Usually it's about 1 year, they say, but some people have fragrance oils for more than that. I know I for sure do. I have oils that are a couple of years old and they're still good. I still use them, but I would speak to where you purchase your fragrance oils and see what the lifespan is, just so that you wouldn't, so you could be safe. Be on the safe side, not the sorry side. I believe they can get weaker over time. Yes, I like certain fragrance oils. If they for body, I would still use for body. As far as room sprays, but sometimes for candles, I'm not sure, because for candles you're definitely dependent on the scent being able to throw, and so if it does get weaker, you may have a weaker throw with your candles or your room sprays or your wax melts and things like that. So yes, I would definitely contact my supplier and see when what's their maximum, what is it, the maximum that you can have your fragrance oils, because some will say you could 1 to 2 years or something like that, but you want to make sure that you're in the safety range, Make sure you're in the safety range, because a lot of these seasonal scents we will have, because if we don't sell a bunch of pumpkin spice, we're going to have pumpkin spice from last year to this year, you know what I'm saying? And so it may be 2 years that you've had it, right? And so you want to make sure that that's still okay, or test it out and see if it works, and if it works, then continue to use it. If it does not, then throw it away. Throw it away. So we need to reflect on the things that worked. So let's look at what we've done so far in business, right? And I'm sure everybody has some successes. It may not be as major as you want it to be. It may not have been life altering the way you wanted it to be. You may have not left your 9 to 5 yet the way you thought you were going to. But if you reflect back on, from when you started your business to now, what are some things that actually helped you? What have you learned in business so far? And so that's what I would like for you guys to answer. So from when you started to now, what have you learned in your business that is beneficial for you? Because everything is not all bad. Again, even if it's something that it's not something that shook the table, right? It's not something that you feel like, well, I didn't get to do A, B, and C, but it doesn't matter if you didn't do A, B, and C. You move from here to here, and you were able to achieve this and this. And so what does that look like to you, and what does that feel like to you? And then if that is what you were able to accomplish, and you were not even 100% focused, or you weren't even doing as much as you could have done, knowing what you know now, how could you do that even better, like on a larger scale, right? What could you do better? So what have you recognized in yourself from when you started your business to now that you've done well? Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat. What can you say that you have done well? I can say, as far as doing coffee with Nikki, I feel a lot more comfortable. At first I was concerned about being so transparent on this platform, because I'm like, I thought I wanted to show up as this polished professional and have everything together, and I realized that you can't use me in that manner. I mean, some people will be able to use me at that capacity, but where I connect is the transparency. Where I connect with people is the real, right? Where I connect is that everybody is going to go through something, and I'm comfortable with saying that I've been through something. I'm comfortable with saying I understand where you are, and I know what you're saying, and I know what you're doing, and I know sometimes y'all gassing me up, and I know sometimes you're lying to me and lying to yourself, because I know those are some of the things that I have said to myself, or I may still be saying to myself, or I know exactly, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I questioned it for a long time, right? And Teresa tell you in a minute, the best moderator on earth. She'll tell you in a minute. She's like, you know what? Let God use you the way God is going to use you. And that is where I had to make myself comfortable with that, right? Because I was questioning my purpose. I was questioning, why am I doing this every day? I was questioning, why am I showing up, and I need to be doing all these other things. I was questioning that about, being on this platform. But then I realized that somebody needs me just the way I am. Somebody needs to hear just what I have. When I say, when I get up here and I say that sometimes I don't have a, what's the word, not scheduled, but I don't have anything pre-planned to say or something like that. And sometimes whatever God moves me to say, or whatever topic I feel like needs to be addressed, I kind of just go on with that, because somebody at some point, and a lot of the times when that's happened, somebody was in a certain space. They didn't feel comfortable saying anything out loud to the group, but it was something that they were dealing with internally, and they felt more comfortable with it because they understood that other people were going through it, and that they were not alone. And so I feel that, because of that, I had to get more comfortable with myself. And I'm still, I'm still going to be changing. I'm still going to be, doing different things with myself. And I'm not saying that I'm over feeling that way, because I'm probably going to feel that way every growth moment, right? Every growth moment, I'm going to feel like I'm not qualified, or I'm going to feel as if, am I doing the right thing? What exactly is my purpose? We have these moments every growth period, right? And so I'm definitely going to feel it later on. I know I am, right? But the thing about that is that I am more comfortable in showing up. I am more comfortable with being transparent. I am more comfortable knowing that somebody could use my mess just the way it is because they're going through something and they need to see their way out of it too. And so that is something that I felt that I've grown into from when I started to now, right? Because sometimes I wasn't comfortable. I wasn't comfortable being in front of the camera. I wasn't comfortable talking about certain things. I wasn't comfortable because I felt like I didn't know what my purpose was. I didn't know why I was showing up. But now I know, right? And I have that clarity. Had I not continued doing what I was doing and showing up even when I was nervous, even when I was scared, even when I was unsure, but still showing up, I was able to work my way through it. Right? Work my way through it. Like I said, I'm not saying that these questions don't pop up in my head. I'm not saying that these feelings don't pop up in my head, because they do. But when they do, I still feel it and I still do it anyway. Why? Because I feel that somebody else can use it. Right. And so that's how I've grown within, and I'm just speaking with Coffee with Nikki because there's a lot of things I could talk about. Right. But with Coffee with Nikki, that's one way that I've grown from when I started to now. And I could see the change. I could see the transformation. I could see me being more at ease. I can see me being more comfortable. I can see my delivery changing, because that's another thing, right? Like, am I talking and nobody's listening? You know what I'm saying? Like, am I even making a difference? Am I making an impact? What am I doing here? Right? But I could see the difference. So that's what I realized in myself. So what do you guys realize within you? Let me see. You are a gift, Nikki. Thank you so much, Trina. I appreciate you. I really do. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Hey D's in the building. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning. So, what have you noticed about from when you started to now? What's the growth? What do you see in yourself? Right? Again, it may have not been something huge, right? You may not have hit the target. You may have not hit the goal that you set out for yourself right now, but you did work towards it. Well, what did you get from it? Right? What did you get? What do you know? I know with Jasmine again, and I will say this every single time because I always thought Jasmine was on point with her brand, but she's evolving into something different, right? She's evolving into something she feels that she's led to doing. And if she didn't do those things that she did, if she didn't have Sweet Magnolia, if she didn't do those things, if she didn't go through the process the way she went through the process, she would have never got, I mean, she would have got to it because God would have made sure she got to her destination. But she was able to see what works for her, what doesn't work for her, where she needs to be going, what she needs to focus on, and where she was spinning her wheels at before, that she's no longer going to be doing that this time. You know what I'm saying? So there's some things that we see. Just because something didn't work out the way we've planned it or the way we thought it would, it doesn't mean that it didn't work. It just showed us a different way that we need to be approaching our new goals and our new destination. Yes? Yes, yes, and yes. Let me know if y'all with me. Let me know. Good morning, Laura. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Let me know if you with me. Jasmine said, I had a self-motivated outlook on what I want to on what I do. I had a self-motivated outlook on what I do, but with the help of the Holy Spirit, I'm being led in a different direction. There's a lot of things I could have handled better. It was all a big learning experience, and that is what we need to see it as, right? Because our failures and our no's are not, that they're not something that is final, right? It is something that is showing us how to open up to something else, showing us how to figure out how to do something else. It is definitely not the end, right? It is just the beginning, right? It is a brand new door opening for you to see that the possibilities for whatever this new thing is endless, that you can go out there to do and be and strive for anything that you want, right? You don't have to be attached to the failure, right? Because the failure is the lesson. It's something that you get to see and say, you know what? I could reflect on that. That's the word. I could reflect on that failure and I can see what the growth was for me. I can see exactly when I failed on something. I could see that moment it changed. I could see where my views change. I can see where I changed as a person. I can see how I changed as an entrepreneur. I can see where I changed as where I set my boundaries. I can see those things now. Those doors would not have been open for you otherwise, right? And so you have had to see the failure first in order for you to see that you are now changing and evolving, and you've outgrown that space, and that space is no longer for you, and it is okay for you to go on ahead and move forward, right? It is okay. Self-centered is probably a better word. You a self-centered, Jazz? And let me see. Trina says, I'm seeking help now. I'm still not the greatest at asking for help. Um, but I'm seeing the benefits of creating relationships with people. Very new for someone who tries to do everything alone. Yes. Yes, yes, and yes. And we need to know it is okay. As entrepreneurs, we think we have to do things on our own. As parents, we think we need to do everything on our own. But we need to be okay with the fact that it's okay to ask other people for and I'm not saying beg them for help, right? If you know that somebody could help you in a certain area and you could also help in a different area and y'all could like barter, do it. If you know that you could benefit from talking to somebody else, do it. If you know that you could benefit from having a therapist, do it. If you know that you know what I'm saying? Like if you know that you could benefit from having coaching and things like that, then go ahead and invest in those things. Why? Because it's going to help you in the long run. It's going to help you in the long run. So don't feel like you have to sit there and try to figure out all these things on your own, because you don't get a prize for that. There's no award for that, right? There's nobody who's going to say, you know what? You did all by yourself with no help. Let me give you this award. There's no award for that. It doesn't matter if you had somebody help you or not. Success is success, right? And the kind of success you have is going to depend on the type of help that you had. Yes? Let me see. Miss Lois says, I truly learned to continue formulating to have quality products. I didn't know anything until I found your YouTube channel. Hey, come on, Miss Lois. Yes. Come on, Miss Lois. Yes, whatever it is that you need, you guys go ahead and get it. If you need a class, take the class. If you need to watch a video, watch the video. You need a book, grab the book. You need a seminar, get the seminar. Whatever it is that you need, go on ahead and get it. Why? Again, there is no award for you sitting up here trying to figure it out on your own, right? The end result is going to be the same. How'd you get it? How'd you get it? Oh, you got help on the way? Good, because how long was you going to spin your wheels trying to make that thing work? Right? When you could have the help. How long were you going to do that? Right? It's no awards for that. So if you know that you need help, reach out. If you know that you need assistance, reach out. If you know whatever that thing is, whatever that looks like to you, if you know that you need it, reach out. Yes? Yes, yes, and yes, y'all. Let me know in the chat. Yes, yes, and yes. Let me know if y'all feeling me. Let me know if y'all with me, cause sometimes I be going off, and we didn't even go through all of my words. So we just went. I mean, we kind of touched on them, but we didn't. I'm gonna go through the carousel words. So tomorrow we're gonna talk about reprioritizing and probably about reframing. But today we did reset and we did refocus. We did quite a few rewords today, but definitely put on your post-it, put on your whiteboard, put in your computer, put on your phone, put on your screen, your wallpaper on your phone. This is the week of reset. This is the matter of fact, this is the month for resetting. Reset yourself, reset your business, reset your structure so that you are able to continue out the rest of this year strong. You're going to continue out this year strong. You're going to be rested. You're going to be focused. You're going to prioritize. You're going to make sure you have your list and your goals and things that you need to do. And whatever didn't work all this time, for previously within the year before, earlier in the year, if those things didn't work for you, it is okay. Don't beat yourself up that, oh, this amount of time has passed. Don't beat yourself up about it. It passed and it's gone, and there's nothing that you can do about it because we're not going to get it back. The only thing that you can do is do better and be better. That's it. right? That is the only thing that you can do, is be better and do better. And so I'm not going to allow the rest of my year to look like the first half of this year. It is not going to happen for me. Why? Because this is what I am saying I do not want. And since I do not want that, I'm not going to allow that to happen for my future and my present. It is not going to, it can't live here. Those habits can no longer live here because those habits are not serving me. Those habits are not helping me to become the person and run this business the way I want to. And so those gotta go, and I have to establish these new habits. And I say this a lot, but I mean it, and it's something that I think that everybody needs to be executing right here, right now, today. Today. With that being said, we're talking up. We spoke about purging. We spoke about getting rid of things that no longer serve you, that are sitting on your shelves that you no longer need. If you go over to Bubble Babes University, if you go on over to Bubble Babes University, go to the community, sign up for the community, and set up your account and everything. There is a free section. There's also the honor society. You don't have to worry about the honor society. Also, speaking of the honor society, I just added a new melt and pour class there. If anybody is interested and wants to add melt and pour to their lineup, that is there. But you can go on over to the supply cabinet. If you go to the supply cabinet, you are able to post up the things that you want to sell, and when you post them up in the supply closet, I will definitely be putting them on my story so that we can move the items faster and we can share them with each other so that everybody, oh, I didn't know that you had jars, or I didn't know that you had whatever, and then you sell those to whomever needs those type of things. So make sure that you go on over and set up your account with the community so that you can see what's going on. And not only that, there's happenings going on. You get to see my notes from Coffee with Nikki. I also put the replays up there so that you can catch it. You can catch them on YouTube too, but I put my notes as well. So if you want to copy the, take a copy, print out, that's what I meant, print out the PDF, you'll be able to print it out and highlight what you need and take your notes and da 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 da. So, with that being said, everybody, I appreciate you guys so much for rocking with me today. I appreciate you. If you are watching the replay, please like, comment, and subscribe. If you're sitting in here and you had not yet subscribed, I don't know what y'all waiting for. Come on and subscribe. I am trying to get to 100K by December 31st, so I'm going to need you guys to share this video. If there was something in here that resonated with you, that can resonate with somebody else, please share this out to them and let them know, come join us over here because we popping. And this is Coffee with Nikki. We are here Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for your daily cup of information and inspiration. I will definitely be, flooding your timelines and your stories and all of that, because that is what I do. That's what I do. And so you guys follow me on social media. I am Bubble Babes, BABEZ, University everywhere, TikTok, Instagram. I'm even on Threads, but I haven't been on there anymore because the excitement of Threads is over. I don't know. Jasmine, are you still on there? I know Jasmine was on there too. I'm like, I'm over Threads. It was new for the second and now I'm done. Instagram, TikTok, Pinterest, and Facebook. I'm on all of those. So find us over there and follow us everywhere. And if you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to DM me. I do respond to my DMs. And that is it. Remember, the word for the week, the word for the month, it is reset. Put that word somewhere. Put it everywhere where you're going to see it. And just know that it's okay to reset. It's okay to restart. It's okay. It is okay. Right? And so, everybody, you guys have an amazing day. Amazing, amazing day. I appreciate y'all so much. Have an amazing day, y'all. Bye.